Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Azhar Ali here, bringing you another exclusive interview for PakPassion. Absolutely honoured to be joined by my guest today. He was born in Lahore, a wonderful batsman during his playing days, former ODI and Test captain. 97 Test matches, scoring over 7,000 runs at an excellent average of over 42, including 1900s, 35 50s, triple hundreds, double hundreds. He did it. Everything. 53 ODIs, made 1,845 runs at an average of just under 37. I met him a few times. He's a wonderful guy. He's humble, a great ambassador for Pakistan cricket, and I think he's a fantastic role model for any young cricketer. In 2024, he was appointed as PCB's head of youth development, but recently he resigned from that position. Absolute pleasure to be joined by Azhar Ali. Azhar bhai, assalamu alaikum. Hope you're well.
Well, Islam, Alhamdulillah, I'm very well.
Looking well,
Hope you're
Azhar
well
bhai.
too.
You're looking well.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, trying to keep myself fit. Yeah, so health is the main thing. If as a sports person, obviously I'm retired now, but I always try to stay engaged with the game and also keep my gym routines going as well.
Azhar, pehla sawal to ye hai about I mentioned that you were the head of youth development and you recently resigned. हमारे जो viewers hai, they'll want to know ke why did you resign?
I think we'll just keep it quite simple. I think it's good to stay positive for future, and also I would like to say that there are some reasons, obviously, but I'll keep it nice and positive, and I just want to wish Pakistan under 19, which is just announced. This morning, and I want to wish them all the very best for the tournament. And obviously, Sarfraz has taken over. He's a great friend, a brother, and a great, I think, addition to under 19s. And he's obviously will be in charge for under 19. So I want to wish him very well, and the sports staff who had worked really hard. Throughout last few months to prepare under 19. Obviously, the preparation hasn't been ideal. So there are a lot of things that I can say, but I think I'll just say I resigned due to personal reasons.
Azhar bhai, the role that you were doing for the Pakistan Cricket Board, what were the challenges and what do you feel you achieved in the role?
I think it was quite tough. Obviously, there was a lot of activity happening for the senior team. Obviously, Champions Trophy was a big event for Pakistan, which everyone supported the cricket board as well. I know to to have that successful tournament, there were a lot of challenges and a lot. I think PCB's a lot of PCB's concentration was on that. So first few months, I couldn't really do much because of that. Everyone was busy around that. But after that, things didn't really go according to plan. But there were a lot of challenges, a lot of hurdles, but we managed to create some sort of tempo in terms of camps. But one thing really missed out is last year. You probably heard that under 19 tournament was stopped, and then we didn't had any tournament for under 19s last year, which was, I believe that Pakistan cricket, especially under 19s, has been pushed back for last 2 years. Pushed back 2 years because if you skip one year, that actually stops the flow of players coming in, which was like I think I it was stopped before I joined, but I didn't know. I don't know what I could have helped in that, but that was really unfortunate that last season we didn't have any tournament. So it was tough challenge to create the squad because if you don't have proper database, then it is always questioned how you select the side. So that was one of the challenge. Then somehow we created, a camp in June, which we wanted to start in May, but obviously it got delayed. And then we had to select from like 1,000 some 1,060 players, which is like it's a massive challenge. And we knew that we probably would miss some players because you can't accommodate everyone in trials and stuff. But we wanted to have that competitiveness, so at least we select a good squad so we can train them. So after that camp in June, we had a tournament finally under 19, so then we can actually see their performance under challenging conditions, under good standard as well. So yeah, after that, we managed to get that squad in, finally the 26 players, and they have trained another 2 months, and now the final team has been selected. So I think the achievement is that in that challenge, even in the challenging circumstances, I managed, not I manage, I think I always talk about teamwork. So whichever people were involved in that, I think director academies Akib Javed helped us a lot in that. You know the, we all always wanted to have under 19, under 17, under 15 academies, so the clear pathway, everyone knows where they go. And also they don't we don't just train them when they come to under 19s. By the time they come to under 19s, they must be trained before. So in under 19, we just work on their skills, um, because I believe that cricket is not just played in the ground, it is played outside the ground as well. How you look after yourself outside, how you present yourself, and be a good ambassador of your country. You need education as well. So we've all wanted to concentrate on that. Under 15, 17 academies are still delayed, but there are plans, but I don't know when they may get implemented. But hopefully, in future, that will be placed, and under 15, 17 guys are trained in a basic fundamentals of the game, and also educate themselves in, how to handle media, how to stay on off the field, how they represent when they get older, how they will represent their country, how they will represent their families. That is all very important for a good player.
So, you are somebody who's been in the cricket system in Pakistan for many years. Obviously, you've got a fantastic record. Obviously, you were working for the PCB recently. How does our development in Pakistan of young cricketers compare with other countries like, say, England, India, Australia, the top nations? What are we doing right and what are we doing wrong?
I think we are blessed with the amount of players who play the game, and amount of talent we have. Eh, I go back to February when some of the foreign coaches came to train our young players, and they said that you have 30 players here, 18 or 19 players you have who can represent Pakistan under 19. They have that ability, and they can walk into any under 19 side in the world. But the problem is that the problem they face, that in 30 players they might have five or six. So this is you have more potential, you have more talent, but unfortunately, we don't have that system who can groom those talent, who can groom those players into uh, a mature, proper senior first class or a international player. uh, Only few go through, who have some extra talent or some extraordinary skills, or they may get extra help from ex first class players or test players or good coaches. But majority of our players don't get that extra care which they need. I think, or extra grooming which they require, or they what we should give them. So unfortunately, that we don't have that, but the talent is there. I'm not saying there is no process at all, but I think if we can put that in a better place, we will be in a great position in next 5 years. People say we don't have talent. I say we don't cater our talent properly. That is the problem. You bring in any people, any person from outside who is experienced in cricket, who will come and see under 15, 17, and 19. They will say, "Wow, they, there are skills there, but there's lack of fitness. There's lack of education about how to keep themselves, like how to eat. Nutrition education is not there. There's a lot of stuff that we can teach them at early age, so by the time they turn 19, 20, they know how to look after themselves. They know how to speak to media. They know what to say, what not to say. That is where I think we can we can change the future of Pakistan cricket. I think people say about, oh, change the captain, change the coach. I think this is just like, I feel that, as this is my opinion, but I feel that that doesn't make much difference. If you bring in any coach, you bring in any captain, they will have same players to work with. Might change 5-10% of your performance, but if you want to make a proper change in Pakistan cricket, you need to invest in youth. You need to invest in Shaheens, Pakistan under 19, and below. And if you have a proper pathway, a proper training, and it's not rocket science, it's not a big investment, I tell you that. It's just like basic stuff, and I hope that it comes, and hopefully our priority become we get our priorities right, I believe. And we need it to invest for next 4 or 5 years. If we just keep thinking about the next series, next World Cup, we always have big programs talking about Pakistan cricket, how we change it, how we will win the next World Cup. But I feel winning the next World Cup and talking about the same thing after the next World Cup, it will keep happening until we have our proper systems right.
You mentioned about nurturing talent. You mentioned about pathways. Grooming the talent. If I could just summarize that into one question, Azhar, where does that investment need to be? Is it in coaches? Is it about academies? Is it about talent hunts? How can that young talent at under 15, under 17 level be prepared for the next level, and we produce the next generation of players?
Well, I think you mentioned everything which needs to be done. When we talk about what things need to be placed, there are tournaments for under 15s, there are tournaments for under 17 and under 19. Under 19, 3-day cricket is very important. Under 17, maybe 2-day cricket is very important. There are matches, there are tournaments, but there are also off-season training. A lot of people, obviously, kids go to school. They can't have a year-round training, maybe, but we can have academies, especially in the summer. We are blessed that we can play at most times in Pakistan. And you mentioned about the care and the other stuff we can do. Academy is important. Tournaments important. Their overseas tours are important. They need to uh, play in other countries, against other countries, so they they don't feel when they go to under 19 World Cups or Asia Cups. So they have that exposure. They need to have a proper fitness. We need to work on their mental side. You know, and we did that in our camp. We worked on psychological safety. You probably heard about Pakistan players, they're scared of talking to coaches, maybe because coaches keep changing. Um, we need consistency, obviously. Uh, but when we spoke to them about the psychological safety, how safe you feel to talk to coaches, and thankfully they've been very honest. They said like we don't feel like we can share everything with them. So we worked on it. We had sessions. We had group chats. We had one-to-one chats with them, so they become more safe. They feel more safe environment where they can share, because we always say as a Azhar Ali, oh, I was always been perfect, but we have to share our weaknesses, our um, the threats we used to feel as a player, or as a nervousness and everything. So we need to we all coaches try to talk to them and shared our problems with them, so they felt a lot safer after that. So but that is the process. You can't say like you could do it in like a month or two. If we have that process, then obviously you can make those developments. I think it's just having a good system, good pathway, and continuity with that. And I think that we should be fine. We need to, obviously there's a lot of stuff, a lot of education about cricket, and cricket outside. We need to give them, and we need to make them enjoy what they do.
So when I look at the young players coming through into the Pakistan team nowadays, and I compare it with, say, India, for example, I often feel, and maybe I'm being too critical here, that a lot of our young players, when they are brought into international cricket, they don't look ready for international cricket. Whereas, say, for example, India and one or two other countries, the youngsters come into the national team, they look ready for international cricket. Am I being too harsh there, or is that a concern?
Well, I think um, uh, you're right, but there are some players who come and look ready, but being only ready as player is not. We see as a cricketer, the skills are there. There is not much difference about skills. They're mainly about how they handle themselves in international cricket. It's easy to come and perform, but you get easily get worked out as well. But once you worked out, how you improve yourself. There is, you know, there are people say that it's easy to get to international level, but to stay there is harder. So I think as players, we are not ready to adapt. Maybe we just come, perform, and get into international cricket. And the player who survives at international cricket, who is who's good at adapting and good at improving stuff, which is obviously when he gets worked out. Yes, the other countries have better preparation before they come. They prepare their player better. Their first class, their domestic stuff is much more competitive. Unfortunately, our domestic cricket is is not as competitive as used to be. So that's why I think players, not every player comes and when they face the proper stuff, not every player feels that he's ready, or we feel that he's not ready. You could see, and also you see in past years there are not many Shaheen tours or Pakistan 8 tours where I think, I believe myself, Sarfraz, other players, when we went to it, those tours, we started to believe that we can make it, because unless you get tested, if you go to Australia or you're in England or other proper A tours, you'll face international bowlers, you'll face international batters, so you can test yourself out there. But unfortunately, we haven't been doing this for a while properly. uh, Here and there are a few tours, but I think if you have under 19s and shine tours continuously, I think our players will be in better place. If I'm not saying that there will be a massive difference, but I'm sure they will have a better experience before they get to international.
So, do you think too many of our young cricketers are focusing on T20Is? I sometimes get messages from players saying, "Oh, Sajid Bhai mentioned my T20 stats. I want to play in the PSL." And I reply back and say to them, "What about your Qaid-e-Azam Trophy stats, your red ball stats?" And then I don't get a reply from them. The focus is, it's almost like, they just want to play in the PSL and BPL and these T20 leagues.
Yeah, I think this is all around the world, not only in Pakistan. There are people, not everywhere, but mostly people are trying to focus on T20 cricket. You have to actually admit it that most of the following, especially in our part of the world, people watch T20 cricket more than any other format. Even in one day cricket, I think it's getting harder because we didn't really push that much. Because you know people like T20 cricket, and then we just gave up. I think on Test cricket, and we don't play much Test cricket. So unless you do that, um, you know, players who play only Test cricket, how many games they play? Eight maximum, 6 or 8,
Of this
and
year, I
two
think
Test
they've only
matches,
played
and
5 Test matches. Pakistan has only played 5 Test matches this year.
yeah, so two Test matches, and then 3 4 months off, and then another two Test matches. I mean, I faced that myself, but I was probably at the end of my career when I faced that more like maybe I did that in the middle part as well. But the guy who's just playing Test cricket, like maybe Sauchiki, tell me what he will be feeling when he just sees 21 T20s just being played in like matter of 2 months. What he would feel that he's just sitting at home, maybe playing first class cricket after first class cricket. There are financial benefits playing T20 cricket, but also a cricketer is there to play cricket, and if he doesn't get that, obviously he would start thinking, I have to go somewhere else, I need to do something else. So I think we need to push more Test cricket, more importance to it, and have Pakistan A shine tours going abroad, have playing maybe 3 4 days series or something. Get them value, give them better central contracts, support them financially as well. If you don't do this, then obviously we all can understand the players what they feel. Obviously, financially, also not playing a lot of cricket. You know that 5 day cricket is not easy. Waking up 7 o'clock, 6:30 every day, thinking about the game. When you come back, you sleep. Before sleeping, you say, "Oh, tomorrow we have to field again." And then the tension of if you have scored a duck in the first inning, you have to think about the next inning. It's so much happens in Test match cricket that 4 hour like 3 hours cricket seems much more easier.
And as I mean, in terms of developing players, and you mentioned about the under-19s, are you excited about the talent coming through for Pakistan at the moment, or is it a little bit of a concern about the level of the talent coming through at the moment?
If I have to tell you honestly, what I see here, the what they have been competing, they look good. But the only worry I feel I have is they haven't been challenged with other countries. The only thing I am worried about. There are some very decent fast bowlers. There are some good spinners. Batter looks good. We try to train them as much as we can. But once they keep facing the same bowlers, same batters, same opponents most of the time, we can't just say like, well, no, they can do it. At least we should have, if we had 2 3 series coming up, then then I would have be in a better place. There's no doubt there's a lot of potential. There's you know in pace bowling, in spinners, batters, there's some exciting batting talent. The captain Farhan Yusuf, he already represented Lahore in T20 cricket. He's a very explosive batter who can just change the game. But he also need exposure playing against top sides, when you go and face international side, there is always a nervousness around. If you have that 10 to 15 ODIs under your belt, then you probably feel more confident. But I'm still very hopeful that if they play on their potential, they will definitely show their skills at world stage.
Azhar Bhai, looking at the current Pakistan international teams, what do you think of the standard? I mean, back in the day when you were playing alongside Yunus Khan, Misbah-ul-Haq, obviously, the Pakistan were ranked number one in the ICC test rankings. These days we're sort of, five, six, seven. Where do you think it's gone wrong, and how do you rate sort of the Pakistan test team, especially?
And people a lot of the time people compare eras when uh, when I was playing, people used to compare from the previous set of players. I feel that sometimes it's very harsh on players who are playing. And I believe that this test team has a lot of potential. There are some players who, like, if you talk about South Shakil, look at his stats. Look at Salman Aliaga. He bats at number 7 and he bats at a very tough number and he scores runs. Same bit like Shafiq. He's they both Asad used to score some important runs. Sarfraz used to do it. Likewise, Salman Aliaga does it. Rizwan does it. Shan starts to score runs, start to show his mettle as well now. Babar, he's a world class player, and I believe that if we support him properly, he can still give us a lot of memorable innings and memorable um, tournaments for Pakistan. And I just feel that his form is starting to come back, and he's starting to develop that mindset again. I feel that his main problem was a bit, there's a lot of stuff happened in a year or so that I think he confused him or something maybe. But I still believe that he's a top player. He's Pakistan's best player. So there are a lot of players who can do the job, but it's just like there's only 5 test matches in in the whole year. How can we just say to them become number one? It is very tough. Um, you know, we had the luxury of Yunus Khan and Misbah-ul-Haq, who were very senior players, and they've been through a lot in their international career. So they supported us, and then we started to respond. We had challenges, but I feel that every team has wonderful players, and we just need to identify and support them, and give them the right quantity of games and right quantity of cricket, and I'm sure, and support as well. We just like I just give you an example. It's not good to give your own examples. When I was playing and Shan Masood was sitting out, and I heard a lot of noises around media that for this guy, this old guy, Shan Masood is sitting out. And after 4 innings, Shan couldn't score runs. It can happen to anyone. Suddenly, I saw people saying he doesn't deserve to be there. So I said, like, you just talked about an experienced player, and you rated that the guy sitting on the bench so highly, and suddenly you say he's not a good player. So we just take decisions very quickly, and cricket is such a game where there are times where you need to support players, because the test players and top players are not easy to find, and we throw them back very easily. That is very unfortunate.
So my final question, got a last couple of minutes. What about your future, Azhar? What have you got planned? Maybe coming to England, to Worcestershire, to do a bit of coaching, because you're still a legend there. They absolutely love you at Worcestershire. So what are the plans?
No, at the moment, no plans. I'm just going to join Sweet Northern Gas. Their domestic, with domestic tournament coming up. I'll join them in a different role this time around. I'll be in a coaching staff. Uh, so I'm going to enjoy that. Play, doing a different role with the same team, and then see what opportunity comes. It's just like just over 2 weeks, I left my job at PCB. So I'm just relaxing now and looking forward to a wonderful domestic tournament with Sweet Northern Gas.
Azhar Ali, always a pleasure speaking with you. And as I said before, you've been a fantastic ambassador, great role model for young cricketers during your playing days. And even these days, the young cricketers who I certainly speak with speak very highly of you and your advice, and they all appreciate you. So really appreciate your time, and many thanks, and all the best for the future.
Thank you, Saj bhai. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Take care.
Thank you.